Hello, Smite fans, and welcome to the first episode of the Gank Right Lane podcast. I'm one of the hosts, Mr. Alex Miller. My buddy John McElmole is our other host, and today we're going to be talking about the SPL play-ins. Warwick's failing to make it in, House and Gladiators moving on. The big cheating scandal that's rocking the Smite world right now that happened during him as well. And then, for our non-SPL fans who still like Smite, we're going to be talking about some of our favorite gods in the game. How you doing, John?
I'm good, man. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good.
All right, you ready to talk about some Smite?
I'm ready to talk about some Smite.
It was a fun weekend watching. I'm always down for some Smite gameplay, some professional play.
For sure. I didn't catch very much of it, but I caught a little bit at the end.
You watched enough to know what was going on.
Yeah. I was paying attention to it for sure.
Right. We had some big surprises, though, at least from what I thought. So, for those who don't know, the Gladiators and the Hounds qualified this weekend, which is a big shock because I think just about everyone I talked to who had any predictions had the Warg going through.
The casters had the Wargs unanimously going through the number one spot.
Yes.
Every single one said they were the best team.
And, I mean, why wouldn't you think that,
Yeah.
So it was a pretty stacked roster. But playing together, they didn't look like they could play together very well.
I mean, it's crazy because Stewart is probably a top 5 carry in the world. Sam for Soccer might be a little washed, as they say. He's still a top 8 jungle in the world, in my opinion. He's probably still an SPL level jungle.
Oh, for sure.
Aquarius and Gamma, if they aren't SPL level, they're still like top 10, top 12. Like they're right outside of it if they aren't in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I want to bring it back to your Stewart comment. I've been seeing a lot of things that Stewart is one of the best. They're so surprised he didn't make it. They think someone's going to pick him up. But really, I don't see that there. No hate toward the man because he's obviously a great player. But he played on he stayed on a below average team all season on the Scarabs. And I think that's about his level right there. And then when he gets picked up by a team with, people who've won worlds before, so many seasoned veterans, and people who are really great at the game, like, Paul and Aurora, and Sino, then they're going to make you look good. It helps you play better. It's like, I've said this before, I feel like if I had an NFL line, I could pick up 5 yards to play as a running back in the NFL.
Right, like a good one, not just any NFL line. There's some bad NFL lines.
If I had the best line in the league.
Yeah.
And so he played good, he played really well in SWC, but I don't think that's his standard, I think this weekend he played good. He didn't go crazy, but that's just like his standard.
Right. Well, the problem with it is I feel like carry is pretty weak in the SPL right now, especially with Panda retiring. There's literally like 4 SPL level carries, you know what I mean? And even them, it's like none of them are like greats, you know what I mean? There are like 4 good SPL carries. In every other role, it's like, I'd say there's 2 great supports at least, maybe 3. There's 2 great solos. There's like 5 great mids.
Yeah.
And then carry, I'd say there's probably 0. I wouldn't say anybody in carry right now is a great player. Good for sure. And like, just to be clear, anybody playing like anywhere near that level could kick my ass. John's a lot better than me. They could beat him too.
They'd kick all of our ass in carry. Yeah. It wouldn't even matter.
Well, I just mean in general. Like Stewart could play me in solo, he'd destroy me.
Oh yeah, for sure.
He could out jungle you, and you're a former semi-pro jungle.
These guys are pros for a reason. Yeah, I have my competitive stint there for like a month, but that was short-lived.
Yeah.
Here we are.
It wasn't because of
But yeah,
skill
looking
that it
at the
was
carry
short-lived,
roll,
though. You know,
huh?
I said it wasn't because of your skill level that it was a short stint.
Right.
It
There's
was,
some personal stuff going on. Couldn't
you
put in the time for it. But yeah, looking back at the carry roll, I see 3, maybe 4 names in the SPL right now that could actually carry a game by themselves.
yeah.
And that's generous. You know,
Yeah.
I think obviously I see Yarkor.
Yep. Yarkor, Vote, Netroid, Zapman.
I wouldn't even put Zapman on there, to be
Zapman's not
honest
gonna
with
win
you.
1v1s, but he's gonna win you team fights.
Right, but you have to get to that point in the game, and I don't
Right,
think
for
he
sure.
can get there by himself.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess if you're talking about people who are like carrying games, I was just talking about like the good carries.
Oh,
He
yeah.
is a good SPL player.
Right. Okay, I feel like we're getting a little off side.
No, for sure. I'm sure that's gonna
enjoying
happen
it.
a lot.
Right. We'll just bring her back here for a second.
Yeah.
So the Warriors didn't make it. They didn't look very good. They looked good against bad teams, but against any team that, you know, had any sort of strength to them, like real chance of making it, they ended up falling, you know.
Yeah.
The Hounds, I had them making it, but I didn't think they were going to look as dominant as they did. I'm trying to find my...
They almost look like they could actually be good in the SPL.
Yeah.
I think you said the other day, there's a chance they aren't in the bottom 2 teams with how good they looked in the play-ins.
Yeah.
They could
I
be
mean,
like a 6th or a 5th even.
This happened to me during the SWC play-ins as well with the Hex Mambo, and I think it could be a recency bias for sure. But yeah, we'll just have to see in the first whole week.
I mean,
But
Hex
they look
Mambo
like they
was
could
really good.
be-
They just choked.
Right? Yeah, they didn't play well at all.
They did not play up to Hex Mambo standard. But
yeah, everyone on the Hounds looked so good though.
yeah.
What do we have?
I mean, I've always like, you know, I'm not the most knowledgeable about the Smite Pro scene. That's definitely more your area of expertise. But from what I have seen, like I've known of all these guys for a while, even with my limited knowledge of paying attention to it, and all of them I've always thought were pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, Oath has been, he's their jungle. He's been in talks about coming to the SPL for years now. Ducky was in the SPL before. Benny Q was in it last year. And then the other 2 rookies are their duo Lane, Quig, and Viport Coast. Viport Coast put on a freaking clinic at SWC last year, even though they lost. But they lost the
1v1 to Yarkor.
Yes.
Probably the hardest person to 1v1 who's in the league right now.
Right. He was putting on a show, and so I'm so glad he made it. Like that was the one guy I really wanted, him in Inbound, and luckily I got both of them. But also, I don't think people talked enough about Quig during the weekend. I think he played. Well, a lot of supports end up. You notice when they throw the game, you know. You notice when they make mistakes, but it's a lesser of an impact role, and so when players do play really well, it's harder to notice. And I think he really showed up this weekend and
like last weekend, when did it even happen? I don't even remember. It was like the 25th was the end of it, around there.
I don't even remember. Yeah, it was a weekend ago, 2 weekends ago.
Yeah,
sometime in the past now, but so yeah, I was really happy for them.
Can't forget to mention their coach L Chuckles. You got to give him a lot of credit. You know, it's hard to know from the outside how much a coach actually does, but like this team looked like what we thought the Warriors were going to look like, with frankly not as much talent. So you got to give some credit to the coach there.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, I don't think unless you have anything else about them, that
nope.
They just played good. that's
Yeah.
it's easier to critique a team that does bad
Right.
and had a lot of flaws. I think their early game looked really bad sometimes. Not really bad, but they fell behind a lot, which will be a big problem in the SPL if they don't fix
Yeah,
that.
some of those SPL teams, they're gonna suffocate. If you fall behind against the Kings, you're not coming back. You just lose.
Right.
With the
Yeah.
fundamentals of that team, there's no chance.
Yeah. Any of those teams are gonna know how to push it down your throat. So.
Yeah.
But moving to the Gladiators,
Yeah.
they had what 1, 2, oh shoot, 3, 4, 5 sets this past weekend.
Yeah.
And after
Play the most matches out of any team.
Yeah, after watching their first two, I wasn't sure how I felt about this team. I thought it
Who
was
did they lose to again?
they
Hounds.
lost the Hounds. The Hounds put them in the losers bracket. Yeah, they played the Storm, which had the cheater on it. We'll get to that later. They played them. They won. They looked good against them, but that team really didn't have much talent on it.
And I got
The
swept
Hounds
by
got
a
absolutely
good Hounds team.
demolished by the Hounds.
I mean, so
and
did
at that
everybody.
point, what?
So did everybody.
Oh, right.
I think Wargs were the only team to take a game off them.
Yeah. I mean, they only played
3 times.
8 games. They only played 8 games, 3 sets, and they won 7. So, yeah, they looked really good. And so, but my thoughts still going into this because the Wargs hadn't played any good team yet, And so I was like, if the Wargs are going to beat the Hounds in the winners finals, and the Hounds just stomp the Gladiators like that, I guess the early games were rough for the Hounds, but the Gladiators just couldn't pull together, and the Hounds were able to come back in like 40, 50-minute games.
Right.
And definitely after that, I thought they were going to be broken. There was no way they were going to make it. Especially after, I can't remember. Let me double check here. What game the Wardens took off the Gladiators? Okay, yeah, the Wardens took game 1 off the Gladiators, and I thought at that point that was it. They had El Leon, the Gladiator or the Wardens had El Leon in the jungle.
Playing out of his mind, by the way.
Yes, I think he looked like one of the best, probably the best jungler this weekend, and one of the best players. And I don't know if I feel bad that he's getting caught up in the cheating scandal.
We'll get to that later.
Right, yeah. But anyway, the Gladiators ended up coming back from that. Again, I think that was more of Wardens throwing more than Gladiators beating them.
Right.
They beat them fast.
Well, I mean, you could say the Wargs did that against them as well.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So yeah, those two ended up because the Hounds beat the Wargs in the finals, in the winners final. They dropped to play Gladiators. After the Gladiators played the Scorpions, I wasn't crazy about that match. I mean, it was just a basic. It looked like a basic SEC match.
Right.
Yeah, Wargs went up 2-0. They're definitely the more talented roster. And then Gladiators just had the distance on them. They had the legs.
Maybe they should have been called the Hounds because they're the team that got that dog in them.
They do got that dog in, or they should have been the Wargs at least, because
Yeah.
the Wargs clearly do not.
Yeah.
What is a warg? Is that
I don't know.
It looks like a dog. We'll say that was a dog.
Yeah.
But,
probably some type of wolf.
what is a warg? I don't even know.
I mean, the Gladiators like it feels so weird to say they're like underdogs because they got a decent amount of former SPL talent on their roster. Kierme,
Right.
Scary D, Inbound.
I feel like it's all people who have always been at the bottom in recent times.
Yeah, for sure. Snoopy as
And so
well.
that was where my concerns came with that
Right.
team. I didn't know. I felt like against the Hounds, their siege looked horrible, and it was. I mean, it was the entire tournament. Their siege was really bad. Besides the very last game when they saved up 4 bombs
Right.
to make it the SPL. But
Yeah, I wonder how much we're gonna see that in actual SPL games. This
I think that's
focusing
going to be
down Pyro to get those bombs.
I think Pyro is going to be going to be more prioritized than Gold.
Possibly, yeah.
I don't. Yeah, I don't
With
care. I
Fire
think
Giant on that side of the map as well. I feel
right.
like you're not going to see nearly as much of getting Gold Fury as we used to.
I think there's definitely going to be bigger fights around Pyro.
Right.
People would just kind of throw abilities at each other, and then one team would pull it, the other one just kind of backed up. But I think they're really going to go all out for this. Not as much as a fire fight, but
Yeah.
yeah, I think it'll be really important. And I'm excited to see. I mean, playing casuals, you can never see the really full potential of these
Right.
aspects of the game that they had. And
Yeah.
so that's one of the reasons I really like watching these pro games. You get to see like the top people doing their thing.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah, I'm happy. Those were the 2 teams I wanted to make it. They made it. I mean, what do you think the wargs? What's going to happen with the warg players coming into this next season?
I have no idea. Like,
I
how
mean,
do you
that's a
stay
lot of
together after that? You know what I mean?
right. Yeah, part of me like would like to see. I obviously want to see all of them in SCC.
Right. I mean, they're all talented enough. I don't think
Right.
they're going to do it as a team, though. For some reason, I don't know why this is what my brain is telling me is going to happen. They're all going to like go their separate ways to different teams, except for Gamma and Aquarius are still going to be on a team. I don't know why I think the 2 tanks are going to stick together, but that's what my
Those two
brain's telling
played
me is going to happen.
really well together as a front line.
Yeah.
They made some big plays at big times.
Yeah,
I guess I
for sure.
couldn't do it all throughout there. So
I don't know. I
yeah,
don't know what's going to happen with Sam.
I can see that.
It keeps feeling like no matter what team he goes to, he doesn't mesh very well.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
Dragons got rid of him because he wasn't playing the guys they wanted him to play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I would like. I'm a big Sam Foreskin fan, so I would like to see him possibly make it back, but with the anytime, I don't think he'll be back anytime soon in the FPL. I think things have to play out, and
Right,
really the only place I could see him going is to the Ferryman if something happens with Sino.
right. Just doesn't
But
perform or something.
right, yeah. So
With
best,
how Elion played, I don't even know if he's the first guy to get called up. If Elion wants to go to the SPL, you know.
well here that's a good transition into this because
That's a good point. I kind of want to talk about like some of the other teams real quick though.
oh yeah yeah
So
yeah yeah
we'll like hold on to that.
okay.
Got to give a shout out to the Scorpions. No former SPL talent made it to the final 3
They
teams in
had
the losers bracket.
I
Do they have a former
believe
SPL guy?
I think Davey. I think Davey used he was in it for like a season,
I
and I am
believe
not
you,
sure.
but if that is the case, then the website is lying.
Oh, okay, then maybe not.
I'm out. The SPL website is very scuffed.
Yeah, it's hard to find a lot of solid information on this.
Yeah. But
So we're
so
doing our best.
very little, they look like the best of the rest, pretty much.
Right.
Maybe
Yeah.
the Wardens kind of, got a little unlucky with who they had to play.
Yeah, and the Scorpions and the Wardens never met, did they? Yeah, they're on different sides the whole tournament.
Yeah. The
I
Wardens
think that
lost
would
to
have
the
been.
Gladiators and who else? I'm blind. They must have lost early.
Yeah, well, they lost to the
Oh,
Wolves.
they lost to the Storm.
Oh, the Wardens. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean they look pretty good besides that, but I think the Scorpions probably look like the best of the rest in this tournament.
Right.
They're if they stick together in the SEC, they're going to be a force.
I mean, they're an EU SEC team. I
Right.
believe a group
So
of them worked together last year.
Right. They'll be if they stick together, they'll be number 2 behind Hex Mambo.
Right. They'll be very good.
Yeah. Wardens
What
looked
else?
pretty good as well. Aelion looked amazing.
Yeah.
That's not a transition again. I just want to make sure we're not missing anything else.
Yeah, he surprised me. He's shown up to these tournaments and he's always after the day one when they lost. I thought it was going to be they were going to get out first round or 2 matches, get out, and he was going to complain because he seems to do that a lot. From times past, I like him. I've been a fan of him, and I'm really happy that he played so well because I think he has a shot to make SPL in the future. But we'll see. We'll see how that plays out.
Sad that the Titans didn't do well. It's one of the better names, and also they have Dashboard on their team. I know nothing about Dashboard, but I like his name a lot.
That's fair.
I think that's pretty much it.
So I guess that means it's time to talk about the big cheating scandal that happened.
Right. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
You know a lot more about it than me. So I'll let you. Was it the Yomi that it happened?
It was the Storm.
The Storm. The team that beat the Wardens.
Yes. So I think it was Sunday. Saturday. It was either Saturday or Sunday.
Towards the end.
It was Preds on the support for the Scorpions. So yeah, I can't remember if it was their game against the Valkyries or the game against the Gladiators. He went in, and for some reason, I think I heard he accidentally deleted his auto Sylvanas pull hit. Because that man hit like every Sylvanas pull this tournament. That was really impressive. But
right.
He went to the recycling bin on the computer and found a script that was used this weekend. And basically what that script did is it calculated the relic timers and posted them in the game chat for the team, so they didn't have to do basic math. Again, it's basic math, but it's still like.
And who was it that was caught with the script?
It was Dingo Dial, the support for the Bulba Storm. Yeah, and apparently they investigated. He's been doing this for years now. He's never been in a top competitive team, but he's played competitive Smite for a long time, and he's been doing this for a while. And so, I mean, it's really sad because if you're gonna cheat, at least be good.
Right. I'd say he's pretty good. He was in the SEC.
Right. But I mean, if you're gonna cheat and be stupid, give yourself wall hacks or something.
Yeah, who doesn't clear out the recycling bin if they're gonna cheat? You know what I mean? Like, it's a public computer. Just clear your recycling bin. Take 4 extra seconds.
In studio computer.
Insane.
So yeah, that's too bad.
You said was it between matches? Maybe he put it in the recycling bin so nobody would be likely to find it, so he could pull it back out quickly. You know what I mean?
No. they were already done.
That was when they were done. Okay.
Yeah. I think they found it after, because the storm got out. Friday they lost the Valkyries.
Yeah, the 25th.
And so they found it either Saturday or Sunday. And so they'd been done. But so now, they figured this out, and they placed a competitive ban on him. He's never allowed to play competitive again. But I think within a year or something, he can appeal it. And if he's, it's like, jail?
You think he's gonna get out? You know what I mean?
Right. It's kind of like he's gonna be like on probation. If he has good behavior, and stops cheating, I think they'll be able to play. Because it's not like cheating is cheating. It's not good either way.
Right.
But it wasn't. It really is basic math, and it just frees up that little bit of
brain power
you need to think about it. Yeah, the brain power. So, yeah, screw him for cheating.
Right.
But it's not like it's not like it was wall hacks or anything nuts.
Right.
But then they started also investigating whether his teammates knew about it or not. And, he's posting it in the team chat in game. The timers just automatically get sent.
It automatically sends it to team chat.
And so, they found out that a lot of these players didn't know that was going on. And someone who used to team with him in the past was Elion. And so that brings up a big discussion of whether he should get punished, or all of the other teammates that's played with him. How should they get punished? They weren't the ones with it, but they.
You said Elion for sure knew, right? Because he said at one point he got caught saying "turn on your thing" or whatever.
Yeah, I'll see if I can find that clip real quick and play it. But yeah, he was. The game was starting, and he.
Yeah. If you can't find it, I could edit it in or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you can't find it right now, I'll just edit it in and post. Cool.
I think this might be it. Let me see.
I mean, so I'm a fairly big fan of speedrunning, right?
Okay.
And a lot of speedrunners, end up getting caught cheating. Not all of them, obviously, but there's been quite a few instances of cheating throughout speedrunning. And it's one of those things where, it always seems to get justified by them being like, oh, well, I deserved the record anyways, you know what I mean? But, I kept getting screwed over by RNG. And I wonder if that's, what he's thinking about, right? If he's like, well, I deserve to be doing well anyways, but I just keep getting screwed over. But in a competitive game against other people, like Smite, is so much different than speedrunning, right?
Right.
Because it's what RNG is there really in Smite, right? What the minions do, right?
Yes,
can obviously screw you over. There's a little bit there. And then, if you're playing Baba Yaga, which ability you get, which potions you get. That's pretty much it. There's not that much else than that.
Yeah, there's
From
not much.
that aspect, what's screwing you over is the other people being better than you, right?
Yeah.
Like in speedrunning, you can tell yourself, oh, well, I'm better than this guy at speedrunning, but I'm getting bad RNG. In Smite, it's like, oh, well, I'm better than this guy, but he beat me because he's better than me. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I know it's only a minor. I know it's only a minor cheat. It's not something that's helping him in fights. Knowing when relics happen, that is going to help you in fights.
That's a big advantage in fights. But it's something that you can do naturally, though.
Right. And it's also it's not helping you hit abilities or anything. It's not helping you pull off a trick or something like people who cheat in speedrunning do.
Right.
So like that wouldn't make sense for like the thought process he would go through there for it to be that. I don't know
No,
how I
I
would
don't think
justify it to
you,
himself. You know what I mean?
exactly. You can't come up with an excuse for that. You got caught cheating, and that is what it is. Yeah, he was like, I could. He did say something. He tweeted. He was like, I can do the basic math. It just Dingo Dial had a way of making it easier. It's like, how do you get easier than basic math? A
Right.
script. That's literally
Right.
it.
Like set the timer on your phone. You know what I mean?
Exactly. There's no rules that say you can't bring a piece of paper and a pencil in there and a calculator.
Right. Well, you don't even
If
need
you
a calculator,
if
really.
if you couldn't do that math, if you couldn't add what beads is uh,
Right. Like if you know what the
170
timers for
seconds.
relics are, you probably don't even need a calculator. You know what I mean?
Right. Beads is 170 seconds. So you add 2 minutes to whatever time they use it and subtract 10 seconds. And that's it. So
Well,
yeah,
be
Alex. If
3 minutes minus 10 seconds, not two, but
three,
yeah,
yeah, you knew that.
yeah,
So see, clearly I need the script. I need help,
yeah.
man.
Where can we download this script, Dingo Dial? Just I
Yeah, if
wanna
you want to
I
send us
wanna
the
see
link.
how terrible it is.
See how bad of a person you are for using this.
Yeah,
Don't worry, I'll delete it right after you send it though.
yeah.
So, but anyway, what do you think they should do about his teammates who did know?
I
Because
don't know.
like
This stuff is always so complicated. You know what I mean? Like
right,
in soccer right now, there's a big like financial cheating scandal for one of the teams that play in England. They, cooked the books and they cheated financially so they could do stuff that wasn't allowed by the rules, right?
right,
And people are talking about taking away the championships from the time period that was happening. And like that hurts the club, obviously, right? But then that also hurts the players who had nothing to do with the financial side of it. They just went out there and played
exactly.
and they won.
Yeah,
I know that's not the same parallel, but when it comes to cheating, you know, talking about the people who were positively affected by the cheating and how they should be punished, even if they weren't the ones cheating, is always difficult. Even if they knew.
right. There
Like,
was a lot of good talent. People who are talented, who have still careers coming into this next year. Who need to be in the SEC play-in.
right,
And so is it fair to them to say they can't play an entire season because of this? I mean, Elion has such a huge fan base for one, and that would take a lot of views away, which is something I think they would be
right,
worried about.
yeah,
Um, I mean that for any player, and especially if you're taking some of the best out and putting in lower skilled players, that makes it less entertaining to watch.
right. I think
So
I don't think you can do anything this time around, but I think what you should do is you should put a rule in the books that says if somebody gets caught cheating and it's found out that you knew about it,
mhm,
then you get punished. You know what I mean? Like it's one of those things where
right,
it's like the punishment needs to be determined in the rule books beforehand for that sort of
yeah,
deal,
yeah, and that's why this is such a hard
right? Because it's not.
thing to deal with. Right.
Rules are supposed to cover all like foreseen circumstances, and this was an unforeseen circumstance apparently.
Yeah, I definitely was surprised. I really enjoyed watching the Storm play too, and so that kind of upset me a little bit.
Yeah. They definitely look like a pretty good team. So I can see why they'd be fun to watch play. I wouldn't
Yeah.
know. I didn't. I was working a
didn't
lot of the
didn't
weekend
watch
when it
it.
happened. I didn't watch it.
They yeah. It was interesting. I've heard people talk about a financial penalty. If people if his teammates enter the SEC plans, if the people who knew about it and they make it, like taking away part of their earnings from the tournament, just some way, like some sort of slap on the wrist to say this is not okay.
Right.
Because I think it'll also be a problem if they go without punishment of any sort.
Right. Well, I think if you make a very big show of saying like we're not going to punish you this time, but if this sort of thing happens again, there is now rules on the books for it to be punishments, and if you make it like a severe enough punishment, like if somebody's cheating and you knew about it and benefited from it and didn't tell anybody, you get the same punishment as them, sort of deal.
Yeah, I mean that would make sense.
Yeah.
It's too bad that had to happen at all.
It really is. Cheaters ruin everything. There's cheating in every sport. Every sport has had big moments ruined by cheating.
Mm-hmm.
And the teams that
as well.
win get hurt from it. The teams that lose get hurt from it. The fans get hurt from it. Nobody wins in the end.
Nope. It always comes out eventually. So
yeah.
I guess our moral of the story is don't cheat.
Exactly.
That's kind of how I got to like high school and college, but that's a different story.
Same.
That actually
they can't take my degree away now.
Right. Besides, like if I was a doctor, that might hurt my patients, but I'm not.
Yeah, you're just a pilot.
Yeah, that's maybe still extreme.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
You're not cheating on the flying part, though, right?
No, I mean, yeah, I can fly an airplane. I need a script that can do it for me, though. That's called autopilot, though.
You don't need a script who can do the whole thing for you. You need a script that tells you information for one of the gauges or something. That's basically the equivalent.
The gauge just shows you the information that you need, right?
Right, but I don't know. I don't fly an airplane.
I know what you mean. I'm just playing, but yeah. Well, I mean, do you have anything else to add to this part?
I don't think so.
I'm sure in future weeks we'll find out what happened, how this goes down, and we'll cover that some more.
Right.
But, if you would like, you want to talk about some Smite God for the people who don't care about the protein?
Right. I'm just trying to look through and see if I can have any hot takes about teams mixing it up, their rosters up.
Oh yeah, I'm sure a lot of them will be changed.
Yeah. Dashboard's gonna end up with Stewart. That's my hot take. All right, let's move on.
Okay. I can't wait to see that happen.
If that happens, that would be a crazy call. I literally just picked two people. I was just looking through rosters.
Whenever Alex makes outlandish calls like that, I'd say 80% of the time they're right. So.
Are they?
Probably. I can't think of the last thing you said, but there was one that just absolutely blew my mind, last week.
Right.
I don't know.
That's because it looks outlandish on the outside, but I actually know what I'm talking about.
Right. Sure. You can say that all you want.
Yep. And when you make outlandish calls, like picking the Texans to beat the Redskins, they don't work out.
You should hear my fire giant calls sometimes. Those also don't work out.
They really don't. It's crazy how often you call fire giant and it somehow goes wrong. And it never should. And they always do.
Whenever I'm over there, I don't care what time it is. If I see the fire giant and there's more than two of us there, I'm starting it.
That is so true. There are definitely times where I'm like, I'm not sure about this, John. And you're like, we got this. And then they steal it. And I'm like,
I have to seem confident to get you guys to full all in it.
And you're never actually confident.
I am very few times am I like even 80% sure that
Right.
we're gonna get it.
From now on, I'm gonna make the fire giant calls then. How about that?
That's fine. I mean, all of you guys could always say no. You guys could always say no.
Yeah, but we trust you because you're a former semi-pro and you're supposed to know what you're doing.
I like to guess. I like to have fun.
All right. Moving on, talking about
Yeah.
our favorite gods to play. A little bit
Favorite
of a
gods?
get to know you for the listeners out there.
All right. I see some sort of like play styles and
Yep.
just what we think is fun.
Yep.
We're gonna like break it down into class, I believe, right? Like assassins, guardians, hunters, mages, warriors.
That was the
Okay.
plan.
Yeah.
We were gonna
Just
do
making sure.
roles, and then I didn't have a carry because I don't like playing carry. So
Who
now
does?
I have hunters. I play in different roles.
To be honest, I think carry
Lots of
people who
people.
enjoy that are like psychopaths. But
Didn't we talk about before this podcast not shitting on carries because we didn't want to alienate 25% of our audience?
yeah, but I had to at one point. I had to. we'll get that out of the way early, and so hopefully I forget.
Right.
All right, so I've got a list pulled up here, and I think we can start
I just
alphabetically.
have Smite open on my end.
Right, that's my list I'm talking about.
Just have Smite open as well. Let's go.
All
right, we want to start with assassins.
Yep.
All right.
Hit it. Let's see what you
Want me
got.
to go first?
Yeah. Favorite
All right.
favorite assassin.
All right. Well, we got to start some honorable mentions, right?
I guess real quick. Let's see how long have we been playing Smite for?
Ooh. 20.
I know we started in 2016
For like 2 weeks.
Extremely brief stint. Yes. And then picking that up, was it you started in 19? Was it? Did we start in 2019?
See, I don't remember exactly.
Let me. Who was one of the first gods I played? Yamoja?
Right. I played a lot of Ymir. When did I get his? Well, I still don't have one of the trophies on Ymir. That is wild.
Right. I went to look, and it looks like it was late 2020, actually. That I started, because I remember I had COVID, and I was in lockdown. I was quarantining for school. And
not cool.
They were like, or you messaged me and you're like, hey, I got a group of friends that we play Smite. Do you remember playing that? And I was like, yeah, a little bit. So we joined, and we've been grinding it ever since. 3 years now.
Tsukiyomi get released?
Because
that is the first god that came out when I started playing again, and then I think you started right after Cthulhu, who I think was next. It was something like that.
Yeah, he came out August 11th, 2020.
Okay. Tsukiyomi did or Cthulhu?
Tsukiyomi.
Okay.
And I think Cthulhu was before. Or I think, Cthulhu was before Tsukiyomi.
Oh, was he? Because I remember Cthulhu coming out, so maybe I have no idea what I'm talking about.
Cthulhu was in June of 2020, and then Tsukiyomi was in August.
Okay. So I probably started playing again in like April, May 2020, somewhere around there. Yeah, because it was a little bit before Cthulhu. Because I started playing before Cthulhu came out.
Oh, and Baba Yaga had just come out. I had never realized
I didn't know that.
Some of these gods were.
So it was Baba Yaga and then Cthulhu?
Yeah.
Okay, I came out in between. I started playing again in between those two.
Where was Yamoja at, though? Oh, there's Yamoja. Oh, and Heimdallr was pretty recent, too. I guess these are 2019. I guess that's not recent now, but...
Right, recent at the time.
Yeah.
When we started playing again, Reed, like, only played Heimdallr.
and I only
He still
played
kinda
Ymir.
does.
Yeah, that's true. I only played Ymir, and me and him just hung out in the duo lane all the time.
Right.
And then,
Then you gave me the same treatment when I started.
yep, except you were the support.
Yep, slap me on Guardian.
Yep. And you played Yamoja, which, like, the fact that you were good at that, if I knew more about the game, I would have known you were a prodigy of Smite. Like,
She looked cool, man.
yeah. I didn't know she was so hard. I was just like, yeah, go ahead, you do whatever you want. And then you did amazing on a guy that's supposed to be super hard for beginners. Anyways,
Right. Off track there for
what
a
were we
second.
talking about?
Just like
Favorite assassin.
how long we've been playing in, so that that could have some sort of effect on the gods you like.
Right, yeah,
But
for sure. So,
about 3 years.
yeah. In terms of assassins, I'm gonna go through some honorable mentions first. Favorite,
Okay.
like, coolest god? Susano. I love Susano. Susano's my boy. I don't like playing him that much all the time. I'm not very good with him,
Can't auto
but
cancel.
I can auto cancel on Susano. There's a couple of gods
Okay.
I can auto cancel on. I can't auto cancel between each part of the square because I'm playing on a
Like you're
controller.
sad,
Nobody
though.
on PlayStation can do that. That's a PC only tech. But I can auto cancel all of his other stuff. Let's see. I like Arachne.
Ew.
I'm a spider
I can't
fan.
lie. I was there once.
I like Nemesis quite a bit. She's pretty fun.
I'm a fan of the design more than the gameplay,
Yeah.
personally.
That's kind of how I feel about Susano, but Susano's gameplay is also pretty fun. Like, Nemesis' gameplay is so simple, but I just have so much fun with it. And also, I build Gilded Arrow on her because I'm a freak, and it works really well.
It's horrible. It never works.
Critting for 1,000 at 35 minutes always works, man. You just gotta get to 35 minutes.
Once we get late game, it's over. But until then.
Yep. Honestly, I've been mixing it up a little bit. I've been going like Bloodforge earlier, or like Golden Rage, and it's actually been working better in there. Like, it's still bad, but it's like survivable. When before it was not survivable.
Right now, the boomerang is really good.
Yeah.
That's one worth testing. I still haven't tested that out, but I've heard it's.
I liked it quite a bit when I did Nemesis Gilded Arrow with that. But
I heard it's busted nutty.
My favorite bungler. My favorite.
Number one.
It's gotta be Merc.
The
fast boy.
I don't
Running
know
around at the speed of sound. Who would you have guessed?
Yeah, you're right. Looking through, I'm like, okay, maybe I would have.
Yeah, because a lot of the gods I play in jungle, besides the 4 I mentioned, aren't assassins. That's why.
Right.
I play a lot of Cabrakan. I play some Kukolin. I play Alquang. I play Ymir sometimes. I play Donzaburo. You know, a lot of not assassins, but of the actual assassins is Mercury. He's fast. I love being fast. Because back when we were bad and we were also playing against bad people, there was a lot of Anubises, like even more than we already face. And they would also be playing on controller because the crossplay wasn't the same as it is now.
Right.
And I was building full movement speed, and they would ult, and I could walk around them faster than they could turn to ult me. It was so fun. It's just so, like, while I was punching as well, because I'd have Ace of Katana, so I wouldn't be slowing down. So they'd be trying to ult me, and I'd just be walking in a circle doing damage, and they couldn't hit me.
Moving. So, did you ever play when the what was the movement speed mask?
Okay,
Was that
here? You want to know what's really sad? That's when I was only playing Ymir, so really? I never used it. Yeah. And then they got rid of it like right before I started playing. Because when I first started playing, Connor would play Mercury and Kukolin. He would play jungle and solo, and he'd play Mercury and Kukolin a lot. And he would use that mask. But by the time I was playing Mercury, that mask was gone. Sadly. I know.
Yeah, that was something I never got to experience either.
Yeah, he's fast. He's got an attack speed steroid. His square can crit. He's got a dash. He's pretty simple, but like he's fast and he's fun. You know.
It's 35 move speed. Oh my goodness! I didn't realize it was that much.
I forgot it was that much, and that was in the days of boots as well.
So, what was Boots? 15, 11?
15, I think.
15 maybe. I
And
don't know
then
the exact number.
there's one that moves even faster, and I think that was 21.
Right. Yeah, the Merc Boots. I remember
Yeah,
that.
that's the only character you have build him on, and it was still worse, by the way, than doing one of the other ones.
It wasn't good. Well, and the passive also made it. You would take 15% more damage and deal 15% less. There's no way that could have been good. It was just, I guess on Merc though, moving faster makes you do more damage.
Yeah.
Like the ultimate glass cannon.
Yep, I think that's mine. Mercury. Fun ult as well. Especially when you hit it, it feels so good. Killing people with that ult, just blowing through them. Oh.
Yeah, killing people with the ult instead of like, when you hit them and then turn and pick them up.
Right.
That's one thing. But like just screaming down the lane.
Yeah, getting the final blow.
Yeah, that's a nice one.
All right, who do you got in Assassin?
It's a tough one because Assassin's definitely my favorite role.
Yep. It's your main role.
Yeah, definitely. The only people I really don't play is like Bakasura and Kali, the auto attack. I guess I played Arachne, not anymore though.
You don't play much Loki.
No. It's picked up recently, but I'm still a Loki.
Picked up from zero. You used to refuse to play Loki.
Yeah. But I think it started out one of the first games when I got out of the support role. When I was playing Squishies, I got demolished by a rat one time. By a Rattata. And so I was like, I'm going to build that exact same build, and I'm only going to play rat. And I did that. And so for probably a year and a half, that was my go-to. That was my guy.
I remember you playing a lot of rat for a while.
Really smooth. He was my first diamond god. I just thought he flowed really well. I like his nuts. He's got a lot of nuts like me.
I wasn't sure we were going to mention that on the podcast. Should we just not explain that?
No, don't explain that.
If you know, you know. If you don't know, you don't need to know.
Exactly. That's kind of an inside one, but I love his ult. Being able to go up in the sky like that semi-global.
Yep. Better than Thor's ult as well. Right.
Yeah, you have more control, definitely. But more recently, with the release of Cleodna.
Cleodna.
Yeah, however you prefer to pronounce it.
I pronounce it the most American way possible.
But I love, man, it's so fluid. Being able to like one-shot people from inside a wall feels kind of good. But it's just such a fluid with the dash spinning and you're floating above the ground. It's just something I played a lot when it came out. That's probably my top one to this day, for sure.
Right.
So, taking it down, we've got Guardian.
Yeah, we got Guardian. Surprised you didn't mention your former top 100 player on Cleo as well.
Yeah, I think I ended up hitting. I got a picture of it somewhere. 40 something. I don't know, but
I can't believe you didn't even mention Set as like an honorable mention or anything.
Set's fun. He was just kind of like a pub stomp guy.
Right. You just played him because he was really good and you wanted to win.
Right. He is fun though. I do enjoy it. It's fun dominating people
Right.
on that map. That
So when
is a
he's
good
good,
time.
he's fun.
Right. He's really good right now. Go play set right now.
Me? Okay. I guess I'm gonna queue up a Smite game in the middle of this year.
Can run one. We should play a ranked game in the middle of this. Next episode.
Yeah, that'll be the next episode if we play a game of ranked.
Okay.
It's just our comms. We don't even have the video of it. It's just still a podcast.
That would be awful.
Yeah. All right. So Guardian.
Yep.
I only ever really played 4 Guardians to any like real extent.
Really?
I only have the like little worshiper thing that is in the top right. For you, they're probably
Right.
all diamonds on every character. But I got a lightning on Ares, a lightning on Athena, and then a diamond on Cabrakan and a diamond on Ymir. So I guess Ares and Athena are obviously honorable mentions. If I played more Athena, honestly, I've been enjoying her a lot recently. If I had played more of her, she might honestly be it. You know what I mean? Like if we do this list again in a year and I'm still playing Athena and still enjoying Athena, especially with how much I'm liking support recently, she might end up number 1 by next year. But she's not there yet. Yeah. Well, believe it or not, Cabrakan's my number 2.
Wow. I would not guess that.
Yeah. Like it's just there's just something about Ymir. Despite the fact he's made of ice, he looks like he'd give you a nice warm hug. You know what I mean?
I can see that.
He's just like I love
a big teddy bear kind of guy.
Yeah, the ice wall is so fun. You control your teammates with it, or you can destroy enemies with a well placed wall. You can get secure kills.
Right. I mean, good walls can run games.
Right. Like, yeah, the frost breath, 2 1/4 second stun, a little bit of decent damage in there as well. The ice spikes is just a basic damaging ability with a little bit of delay on it, and then you got the big boy ult.
The boom.
The boom.
The real boom right there.
And then his passive allows for so much fun stuff. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Like he's not good in jungle, but people play him in jungle to try to make that passive work. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, you can like one tap people.
Dude, early game, if you build like a damage starter and another damage item, like you can kill people so fast and they never see it coming. It falls off late game, obviously.
I played
because you can't get close enough to people, but
last season I queued ranked with this guy for a little while who would support Ymir. He would pick Ymir and go mannequins into Kronos. And when he would first blood people 70% of the time, 75% of the time. And by 10 minutes, I think, any game that went more than 20 minutes, we would lose. But I think we won double-digit games because they surrendered before 20.
All right.
Because you can just run it down with that. I mean, It's not good. I'm not trying to tell you that's good at all. But it was fun and it worked for a little bit.
All right. I love Cabrakan as well. Maybe I should have put him here. He's very fun, but I don't like him in support. It's the support class, and like I like Ymir in 3 roles. I only like Cabrakan in 2. I like him in solo. I like him in jungle. I don't like him in support. I like Ymir in 3 different roles. I know I don't play him nearly as much, so that's probably why I shocked you. I play a lot more Cabrakan.
Right. There's just more diversity.
Right, and there's just something in my soul that's always going to love Ymir.
He was your first.
Yeah, he was my first. Even all the way back the first time we played. Like, he was my first when I came back, but he was pretty much the only guy that I played the first time I played.
Is the achievement you don't have, or the award, is it the Yugo Boom?
Probably. Yeah. Which is
That's
sad. You
that's a
figured I
tough
would
one
have
to
it by
get.
now.
You have to go like a full damage. Make that easier.
That's true. I mean, it's still like, admittedly with protections, it's not. But with no damage, it's still half a health bar. You know?
Right. It does a lot of damage. Yeah. All
All
right.
right, who you got?
I'm picking here. So small mentions. I love Maui.
I knew he
It's
was going to be up there.
same reasons as Cleo. He's very fluid. And I like yanking people out of the ground
Yep.
with an iron. It's just fun.
Yep.
That's all I can say to that. Yamoja is another honorable mention, just because that was my first
Yep.
guardian, my first person I started playing coming into the game. But here the real kickers here. I'm gonna have to give it to the big guy. You got a guess?
It's Atlas,
It's Atlas. Yeah.
obviously.
When-
There was like a
before
month
he-
you only played him.
Before he came out, I was like, when I heard that Atlas was gonna be in Smite, I was like, that's my main. That's my guy. I found out he was a guardian, and I was like, ah. But we made it work. He's big. The ground slam. That's what gets me. Man, killing someone with a ground slam, basic attack.
Well, if you like ground slams, you'd love Kabrakan.
I mean, I do like Kabrakan.
That's true.
But it's Kabrakan's not a big boom,
Right.
You know how I like to
He thonks.
scream boom whenever I do boom things.
Right.
And that's really what he does good. I really enjoyed playing him for a while, and I guess after he came out season 9, full damage like mid jungle.
You played him in every role. You played him carry.
Yeah, that wasn't good though.
No, it wasn't good. You just really wanted to play Atlas.
Yeah, I am an Atlas enjoyer. Hate me if you like, but that guy's fun. And that's it for those.
Yeah.
That's my guardian list. It's pretty easy to pick. I like a lot of guardians, but I don't.
There's only one you love.
Right. There's none that really stands out to me besides those three.
Right.
Oh wait, I'll save that for another time. The role we've been looking forward to the least.
Yep.
I think collectively our least favorite role
Yep. We're carry haters.
We are carry haters. I hate playing carry. I hate playing against carry.
Yep.
It's not a good time for me, for anyone, honestly. Especially when they're meta and they can like two-shot anyone with crit. That makes me upset.
I do not find carries very fun.
But if you did, who would you be taking?
Well, I mean, I find some hunters fun. I just don't find carry fun. And the hunters I don't play.
Right. You off-roll it.
Yeah. So I've been picking up some new gods. I'm trying to get gods I can play for rank because I'm trying to play some more ranks. I picked up Chiron recently. I've only played one game, but I feel like I should mention him because I've never really like paid attention to him before. I watched a weekend video and I instantly fell in love with the god. I was like, oh my god, this guy looks so much fun. How have I never tried it before?
Yeah.
I mean, like watching other people like play him on our team. I never thought like he looked very fun, but watching like gameplay from the perspective of the person playing Chiron made it look so fun.
Yeah, exactly.
So I could definitely see him climbing the rankings quickly, but I haven't played him very much. Another one who's I've played a little bit more, but still only played 4 games. I'm loving Mana Chorus, man. I think they did a great job with him. Yeah. I've played him in solo, and I like him there. I like when I played him carry. I liked him more than most of the people I've played carry. Actually, you know what? I say that. I don't remember if I actually played him carry. I think I've only played him solo mid jungle. Now that I think about it, but I did auto attack in jungle, and I liked it.
Okay, so you got a taste for it. Anyway.
Yeah, and I've played him mid, and I kind of got crapped on that game, but
did you have fun?
yeah, I had fun.
There you go. That's what matters.
I think I think I'm gonna end up playing quite a bit of Mana Chorus. Just not in carry if I can help it, because I don't like playing carry.
I try to avoid the duo lane. Even when I'm playing jungle, I avoid the duo lane.
Another one I have to mention, Apollo. Not necessarily because I'm a huge Apollo fan. I think he's pretty fun, but there have been multiple times where we've gone on huge losing streaks. We're talking like 15 games, and I'll be like, you know what? You know what the solution is? I'm gonna play carry, and then I play Apollo carry, and we win. And I do well. It's the only good carry games I've ever had are after a 15-game losing streak where I pull an Apollo.
Are we on one right now? Let me check.
No, we've won recently. It's been bad recently. It's not been that bad. You know what I mean?
We've actually been winning a lot more than we've been losing.
Yeah, the last couple days, but like a few days before that, there was like a pretty bad streak.
Yeah.
But yeah, in terms of like actually playing him in carry for the Hunters, I think Apollo's probably my favorite. He's not good right now though. That was definitely more last season. When I've played him this season, I've not liked it very much. He doesn't feel very good.
Yeah, the meta really doesn't fit him right now. He doesn't. The items aren't the best on him.
Yep. So, and this gets me down to my final two, right?
Okay.
Donsboro and Neath. I gotta choose one of these two. I play Donsboro jungle. He's really fun. He gets up close and personal with his ult, and then just unloads his sacks into your mouth.
Yeah, he does shove his sacks right in your face.
And it's good. You know what I mean? It feels good to ride the rocket up to somebody, hit the rocket in their face, and then throw your sacks at them.
I have no respect for you if you do not ride the rocket in every situation.
Yep, you have to. For sure.
Part of the game.
I think, as much of a basic bitch as this makes me, however, my favorite is Neath. I love playing me some Neath mid. I love being like, hey, there's a fight going on right lane. Hey, buddy, you need some help over there? You want to gank while I'm hanging out in mid? Just send my ult over. I love placing a weave down, hitting the weave with the arrow, and doing like 3/4 of somebody's health. I love having some built-in heal in the kit. I definitely find Neath pretty fun.
Oh yeah, it's having a good Neath on your team. I'm not a Neath fan personally, but having someone who can play it and hit those ults when you need them.
Yeah, it's a lot like New Wall. You don't want to play New Wall. You want somebody else in your team to be playing New Wall.
Right.
It's a lot like that.
If I had a New Wall every game,
right, that should be a relic.
Yeah, that would suck. That would be awful.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I'm very glad she's free rotation because otherwise there's about a 0% chance I ever would have tried her.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And by the way, here, let's clarify this. Alex doesn't have the God Pack.
Nope.
Refuses to buy it purely based off the fact that, tell him, why won't you get it?
Why do you think I don't get it? Because I don't remember what I've said that is making you set up like
that you don't want.
Fuck Chongy! I will unlock every god manually in this game just so I can not own Chongy.
How much do you have saved up on you?
1,000. No, sorry, 100,000.
I was gonna say
181,357. My brain died for a second there, but I got there. So I can get quite a few gods.
Yeah.
I also I bought both Chiron and somebody else recently, so I had like almost 200,000.
It was a mage. Was the other one I bought? Oh, Yu Huang.
Oh yeah. I remember you playing him a couple times the other day.
Yep. I really like him, but I gotta get good at him first. You know what I mean?
Right.
All
Learning
right.
curve.
Who's your hunter?
I don't even know. I've just never been a fan because they all have it's just basic attacks, you know. I mean, there's obviously your ability hunters, and each one has some different quirks to them, but it all follows like the same line, and
Yeah, I
I
think
suck in it.
hunter's kind of like the least like unique and dynamic role.
Yeah,
Like you're playing hunter, there's like 2 you can play in jungle, and then there's like 5 you can play in mid, and the rest are pretty much carry only.
right.
Unless you're one of those weirdos who plays him solo.
It can be good, but
In
I think I'm
solo,
gonna have to go probably. I'll give my honorable mentions. Give one to Rama. I love the snipes. I just recently started playing him. Like actually playing him, and the ult is so much fun. The snipes. Um, Hui being able to bounce things off the wall, the hitting the triple bounces, and taking someone's entire health bar away with one ability. That's fun. I feel like um, who's Stephen Hawking? I don't know. Calculating the bounce angles in my head. I don't think Stephen Hawking did that, but
I'm sure he did some math this time.
probably once or twice. I think I just got to go with the moving Cobb here. Because he feels the most like a mage to me. He's a ability hunter. And so all of my damage comes from he's easy. That's it. He's easy.
Yeah.
I have fun with him.
I think you should try Donsborough Jungle. I think you would like it.
I've got Don's at your 10.
Oh, well, never mind.
I do really like Donzaburo.
Yeah. You just didn't feel the need to bring it up because I already brought him up.
Right. It's kind of like the same reason, you know. Ride the rocket, 30 bags. You can play him ability if you wanted.
I always do. I mean, what does he have that does autos? You know what I mean? He doesn't have any
Yeah.
auto steroids. Why would you build him
He's
auto?
got his taunt and his 3, which combo well, you know.
Right.
Getting up close. If you ult in on someone, I mean your base damage is good enough to take a decent amount of health away. And if you have full crit belt, then they're held still for a second. You two tap them.
Right. Well, what you do though is you just build a bear ability and you hit an auto anyways, and then the bags.
And it just works out.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm sure you could build them auto, but I would never see a reason to personally.
I think we've been going for a while now.
Yeah.
So we just gotta rush this on to the mid laners or mages.
Yep.
I'll say. You want to start with this one?
Sure. Honorable mentions. I've been playing Baron a little bit recently. I've been having fun with him. Olaron, I played quite a bit back in the day.
That was who you started laning with. We were Olaron Yamoja duo lane.
Yep, because I wanted to try Olaron. And I was like, if I'm going to be over in carry, I'm gonna try this magical crit god. Ao is probably who should be my favorite, but he's basically just like a jungle or a solo. He's not really like a mid mage. So I'm gonna choose like a mid mage for this list, but Ao Kwang's probably my actual favorite. Call me a troglodyte. I love me some Aphrodite.
You are a troglodyte.
She's just fun. I just love having B's Aegis in my triangle. I love healing. I'm like an Overwatch support at heart. I'm a Mercy main at heart. She's basically just Mercy.
You're the worst part of the Smite community, by the way.
Because I have 500 worshippers on Afro? I don't even have that much, man.
Wait, I have more than you.
I bet. You play this game a lot more than me. And that
That's
leaves my favorite at what should be pretty obvious to John by now. I'd be very surprised if he hasn't got it yet.
Okay, wait. Let me look through. I feel like I'm missing something here because no way. Oh, okay, I know what it is.
Who do you think I was gonna say?
It's the house. Okay, well I looked down and I was like Vulcan support, but that wouldn't have been a top.
Oh, that
And
was
then
a bad time.
I saw Anubis. and that was like Baba Yaga's in the corner for me.
Right.
And so I just kind of blocked that out of my vision.
Right. You saw
There's
Anubis and you were like,
way.
there's no way. And you
Yeah.
saw the house.
And I looked over at
Yaga.
people. Gotta be.
Love building stacks. Building stacks is so fun. Doing it for free. Give me Book of Thought. Give me Warlock Staff. Eating up all those stacks.
Any prophetic
No.
pokers in chat?
It's not. No, I want full damage.
Yeah.
When I'm in mid, I want full damage. And then I love the randomness on the square and the X. Right,
Yeah,
we talked about it earlier. She's like the only RNG character, but like you can adapt to RNG. You know what's coming on the square.
Right. It's not like it's totally random. It shows
right.
you stuff.
Yeah, it tells you, but it's random to the enemy.
Right.
My favorite thing is hitting skill shots with Baba Yaga. You pull out the square and then you aim like so the tip end of like the L hits them.
Of the break off.
Yeah, so they're just like, he missed by a mile.
That's you can never stand still playing against her.
No. You never know where the ability is gonna go.
I got a question for you. I don't know if you know the answer.
Okay.
On her Y, if there's someone standing right at the crossroad there, at the fork, does that hit him twice?
I don't believe so.
Or is it just one?
I
wasn't sure.
Yeah. Maybe with some of these new like giant characters in the building, maybe some of them are wide enough they get hit by both streams. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I don't know exactly how that works. I know with the circle, if they're standing right in front of you, like at the very front of it, you can hit them like when it goes out and when it finishes looping. You can hit them with both of those.
Yeah,
I don't know if you can do that with the Y though. The potions are fun. You know, you can store one, so you know you get in some danger. You can throw them both out and do a lot of damage real quickly. It's a fun escape. It's not the best escape. I'd say it's like a pretty weak escape. It doesn't. It only gives you a little bit of CC immunity, and it takes a while to go off.
Yeah.
I think it's only knock-up immunity.
Yep.
But it also gives 35% damage mitigation at max level, and it has a decent amount of damage. And then, you know, their enemies are surrounding you. You're like, oh no, what I'm going to do? Oh, I'm going to drop a house on their heads. Boom. That's right.
That is a boom for sure.
Yeah. You throw some fire at them while you're in the house. Gives you a little bit of a shield as well, so you don't just instantly die when you call the house in. It's usually not very much of a shield, though. You will usually still die pretty fast if you're in danger. But it gives you a little bit of safety.
Yeah, it gives you an extra couple seconds for sure.
For sure. There have been plenty of times, though, I'm like, my house is going to save me, and it does not save me. But yeah, no, I really like Baba Yaga. You never know what's coming next when you're playing against her. The only thing I wish is that my RNG with getting red ingredients in the potions wasn't so astronomically bad.
I saw someone on Reddit, they got a 5 red potion. Is that how many can be in 1 5?
Yep.
Yeah, it was like
I've
a max
done those
red,
a couple times. It happens.
It's very, very rare.
Yeah.
You're much more likely to get max blue or green because the game hates you than you already get max red. I don't even know what the other colors do. I just know red's damage, so that's the one you want.
I have no idea what that character does at all.
One of them looks like gives power reduction. I should probably care about that one.
I just try to avoid getting hit by abilities, personally.
Yeah. Fair. That's fair.
Well,
all right, who you got?
You ready? So, I like Hebo. He has 3 ults. You can literally just blow up anyone. He's super easy to 1v1 people with. He's fun. Hell is another one. Big fan of stance switchers. In the game, yeah, I was gonna say in the mid lane, but that's not true. I play stance switchers in a lot of roles. I just like being able to, not only do astronomical amounts of damage with 2 abilities, but being able to take care, like cleanse and heal your team.
Right.
She's grown on me a lot recently. And then the top 2, this is a tough one to choose between, because recently I've really gotten into both of them, and it's been the most fun I've been having. But I'll give number 2 goes to Tiamat, another stance switcher. There, she has like 13,000 abilities, I think.
Somewhere in that range, yeah.
Being able, the early game is rough with her, man. But if you can hit late, and if you're hitting your stuff, you slam. I mean, you can 1v5 on this guy. It's so much fun. But top one has to go to the old Yu Huang, the Jade Emperor.
Yep.
I just did what I did with Atlas on him. I played him for like a week, 2 weeks straight. Only him every roll. I slammed him for a while. He's so safe. I mean, if you're getting ran down, you've got so many ways with your ult and your 3 to get out. And then your damage output behind that is being able to pull people with dragons is fun. That's when you're hitting those, you're having a good time.
I've hit 2 ults with him across my 2 games. Both of them felt amazing. I about cleaned my jeans on both of them.
It's definitely not fun to get dragon, but fun to dragon.
Yep.
One of those kind of guys. All right. I
can tell he feels safe, and nobody's safe in my hands. That's how you know he's safe.
Right. Don't bring up the Hebo game.
Shut up.
The Hebo incident.
There's a lot of Hebo incidents. Not all of them are in Hebo. We don't need to talk about any of them. Sometimes I go even more brain off than usual, and I'm in their backline for no reason as like the mage and die like 10 times.
It happens to the best of us, though. Yep. Sometimes you just want to go in and do all of your damage all at once.
Yep. Oh, always. That's why this next role is my role. The Warriors.
Yeah, this is definitely your favorite. I would say maybe a little less with this new season since.
Oh, dude, I still love like a lot of the characters like as Warriors. I still love them in team fights. The lane is so bad this season.
Yeah. It's not very fun.
Like you're less safe at the halfway line than you were at their tower line last season in solo. Like there's so much less boxing, and that's the best part of solo. But we don't need to get into that too much right now. We're already an hour 25 minutes in.
Oh, are we really?
Yeah. In a minute, it'll be an hour 25.
Okay.
So everybody knows, we were aiming at an hour, and we thought this first one was going to go a little bit faster, and we thought it was going to be like 40 minutes. We're already over double that. So
yeah, I'm having fun though. I'm enjoying this.
Too.
So yeah, I think we talk about Warriors. We wrap it up here, and maybe some plans for the future.
Yeah. Hopefully next week we can do another one, but first we gotta finish this one.
Yeah. Let's finish this first.
All right, dude.
like I would do honorable mentions, but there's about 10 of them. You know what I mean? There's so many words I love. King Arthur, spin to win, baby.
Yeah, just start
Spinning
list them
circles. I'm
off.
spinning my chair right now, just loving King Arthur. You got King Arthur, you got Nike, you got Surtur, you got Hercules. I haven't played very much of him, but I love what I've played so far. You got Gilgamesh, especially in his prime. He's not nearly as good as he once was. When he was at his best, drop kicking people, so fun. Erlang, before they changed his turtle, is probably the most fun I've ever had on a god in this game. Besides the person I'm going
Really?
to have as my favorite. Besides the person I'm going to have as my favorite.
Okay.
Here.
Oh well, yeah.
So second most. But besides that, Erlang when his turtle did knock up was probably the most fun I've ever had. Achilles is alright. I was gonna name him because I saw I had a little like lightning bolt on him, but I was like, I don't really like Achilles that much. I don't know why I'm talking about. Executing people is fun though.
It is,
Bologna, gotta love being an auto solo. But then my boy, my heart and soul, the boy.
The boy starred in Home Alone 1 and 2.
Yep, Macaulay Culkin, baby. The Incredible Hulk. Kukolin.
There he is.
Oh, what can I say about Kukolin, John?
You play him every role all the
Yep.
time?
I don't think I've ever played him carry, surprisingly.
I will say, I think you've played him at every single day that we played more than 3 games. You've probably played him at least once that day.
I think there was a little while I wasn't playing him as much, but he's just... Whenever I'm like, all right, you know what? This is a game where I'm going to try to win. I go to him.
You want to
He
try hard?
is... Yep. Me and John have talked about off pod, like roles in Smite's basketball positions, right?
Yeah.
Solo's power forward. He is the most power forward of all the solos.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
In Hulk mode,
Yeah, he's the guy, going into the mess under the paint and grinding it out, throwing
the
elbows.
Charge is a very power forward move.
Yes, for sure. Yeah, I mean, he just has like so much while still being so simple. You know what I mean? You have to learn how to hit a circle in an area around you and a line, and you can play Kukolin. And within all of that, he has 6 abilities. You have to learn how to hit 2 things, and he has 6 abilities.
Pretty much.
You don't count the X. I forgot about the X. The X makes 7.
7, but does that count? Nah.
I mean, the Hulk mode one doesn't. I think the base one does.
Right. But who levels that up anyway, right?
Yeah. I think
honestly,
if you're building Bluestone, you should, because the first time you still proc Bluestone with it. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So if you're building Bluestone, you should. If you're not, you shouldn't level it up until like literally level 15 or whatever. Like literally the last time you can.
Whenever I play him, I don't level it at all. I hit level 20 and I don't put a single point into it.
I didn't for a long time, but whenever I do Bluestone, I still do.
I put one level. Play him when I first started, you and Connor were playing him a lot.
Yeah.
And so I tried him and I hated him.
Yeah.
But then I've been playing it recently and I think I couldn't get around the simplicity at first. But then there's an art to it,
Yeah.
It's playing around everything. He's got a lot of what's it called? You know what I mean, right?
Right.
Let's just say that. But he's a lot of fun. I really enjoy him now.
Yeah, his square in human form stuns minions. It has anti-heal, so it's so good for clearing the wave, and it's so good for preventing people from healing. Right. The leap, it's an escape and it does some damage. Right, and then you got your tick damage. And you have the ult, which is a knock-up, and might be the best ability in the entire game. There probably is not an ability, besides, like, ones that are a similar radius that just kill people, that can have more impact on a game.
than when playing as Kukulkan, you jump into the middle of an enemy team and 5-man knock up all of them.
Right. Yeah, something like a blink ult or a jump into an ult can have such a big impact.
There is no solo ability that can have as big of an impact on a game as his knockup. And in that form is probably his less good form. The abilities I just listed are him at his weakest. Because then he turns into the Hulk, right?
Yeah.
And then he's got his square, which turns into a root, which combos perfectly with his new circle, which is a push stun. So you root them, and then you stun them. How are they going to escape you? You get bonus damage, you get a health shield. But you become so much stronger when you become the Hulk. And you've probably been chipping away at him with the square. You know, when you're in Hulk mode, your X is always on, so you're always doing tick damage. And then on top of the tick damage you're always doing, that's getting extra power from being the Hulk. And then the ult is definitely like considerably worse, but it's going to do a little bit more damage. It's a trimble instead of a knockup, not nearly as good, but
the CC isn't even comparable at that point. But it's and it's still a huge circle.
Yeah,
you know, it's if you're right where you should be or right where you would want to be as the solo in between all their backline, you hit everyone with that.
Yeah. If you are trying to get in a solo lane, I don't know if there's a better character than Kukulkan to play. He's not that hard to play, frankly. He takes a little bit getting used to time the, going into Hulk and stuff. But I don't really even try to time going into Hulk. Like I base what I'm doing on when I go into Hulk, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like I play around going into Hulk instead of going into Hulk when I need it.
Yeah, I think it's a lot easier to do early game, playing around your Hulk mode, but late game you definitely want to.
Right. Well, on that point, you're gonna have your X, which makes it so easy.
Right. Yeah. Then you're able to do that.
Yep. But and he's. I don't think. I mean, I don't know how he was when he came out and all that. Since I've started playing, he has, at all times, been between the 10th and 3rd best solo in the game. So if you learn Kukulkan, you're learning a pretty easy god who is the stereotypical solo laner who is always going to be good.
Mm-hmm.
He never gets buffed. He never gets nerfed. He just always stays the same, and is always good. He might be one of the most perfectly balanced gods in the game.
Yeah, he flexes a lot with the item meta, for sure.
Yeah. If it's the Bluestone Glass Shield stuff that King Arthur loves, the top gods are King Arthur tier Kukulkan.
Okay,
if it's the Warriors Axe meta, it's a little bit different. You're going more Bruiser, maybe.
You have a guess what year he came out?
No idea. 17?
Yeah.
Was it actually?
Yeah. Okay.
That's what you were talking about me doing absurd guesses like that.
Right. I mean, what month?
I'll go with my birth month, July.
Dude, you are 8 days off.
This is August.
It's June.
Aw.
It's close.
Yeah. You could tell he was a summer baby.
Right. He's got a nice tan.
Yeah. All right. I've just ranted about him for about 10 minutes. Now it's your turn to talk about your favorite solo.
Okay, I mean, I think I'm in the same boat with you as all of them are fun. I love sitting in lane and just smacking people.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. That's the role I started off with. Maining. Before jungle. But
right.
I'll say I'll list off some of them. I do enjoy Kukulkan. Kukulkan.
Yep.
I don't know how to pronounce it.
the other one.
Man, Erlang before the turtle change, before his rework.
Just change it back. I don't care if you think he's overpowered with it high res. Just give him less damage. I'll be so happy. Just give it back and then nerf something else.
That was my guy. That was my go-to for a long time.
Remember us playing Erlang, Kabrak, and Duo lane as soon as we hit level 5, killing their whole team.
Yes. Level 1 and level 5, we were just insta-kills. Gilgamesh, I think Gilgamesh is still fun.
I do too. He's just
Obviously,
not as strong, so
right.
it's harder to get the most enjoyment out of him if you're getting shit on.
Yeah, yeah. I Herc. That's probably one of my top ones right there.
I'm
That
kind of
combo
surprised
being
he
able
isn't
to
your
pull
number
people.
one.
Yeah, I'd say he's my number 2 for
We have an
sure.
entire meme amongst our friend group about you ulting wave with him.
Yeah. Why? What else are you gonna use your ult for? The way. I mean, gotta kill the wave somehow, right? Rock.
Yeah,
It's not a boulder.
it's a rock.
Okay. I like him. Horse is a lot of fun. I've been playing him a lot.
Oh,
Arthur.
I looked at some more solos and I figured out which one's gonna be your favorite. I
Oh
scrolled
yeah, I
down
feel
and I was like, oh yeah.
yeah. You should. That should be pretty obvious.
Yep.
King Arthur. He was a big one for a while. Kind of fell off. Enjoying him. Longo right. Shiva. I think Shiva's a lot of fun. Personally, I think he's probably really good right now too. Not really good, but he's pretty decent.
I don't know if I've seen him this season somehow.
Huh?
I don't think I've seen him this season.
Really?
Yeah.
He was played a couple times this past weekend.
Yeah, you know what? I think that's the only place I've seen him this season. Because I was like, my brain is telling me I've seen him on the new map, and I don't remember it. I think it was because of one of the games I watched he was in.
Oh yeah, because it was scary. Scary D played him against the Slippery. I don't remember. I know Scary D was one of them. Oh.
Yeah.
But here, I'm about to tell you. No, I'm not. It'll take too long. Yeah, I am. I don't know. Anyway, number 1, as you could have guessed, is going to be my Osiris.
Yep.
That's my guy right there.
White boy fresh. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, we might be able to put that in here.
Oh, that classic moment.
The sound clip. Yeah, that was in my first competitive game.
He got 3 kills in a minute and a half. And the commentator said, "White boy fresh." Jesus Christ.
Went to mid off the. It was what was that? The beginning of season 9, when jungle and mid went and cleared wave 1 together. Yeah. I blinked in and we got a double kill on mid. I only got one of those though. And then I walked over to solo, cleared my back camps, walked over to solo. My solo laner got killed, but I came in, killed their solo, and then their jungler followed me, and then I just killed him again. And the commentators were popping off for that one. So yeah. I was so hyped, man. I was so nervous about starting the competitive.
Yeah.
What better way to get into it with 4 effective kills in less than 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So that was really fun, but he's probably my favorite god in the game.
Yeah.
I started out, he was on free rotation. This was in season 7, I think.
Like the first time we played?
No. We started, I think, season
5.
3 or 4.
I think it would have been 5. Because I think it was 2017.
I've got awards from 15 and 16.
Who knows? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that'd be nice. But yeah, from the most recent time I started playing, he was on free rotation. I played him once, and I absolutely hated him. It sucked. I didn't understand it at all. It was awful. I had no fun. I got ran. I think it was by bots, maybe. No. Probably. I don't know. But anyway.
I believe it. We were bad enough to get ran by bots when we started.
Yeah, this was very early in the game. But then I don't even know what happened. I guess I was just looking for, because I already bought him. This was before I had the God Pack, and so I was like, I guess I'll play him. He was the one that I didn't enjoy any of the warriors. I had like Guan Yu, Amma, Bologna in him. And so I started playing him, and I figured out how he worked. You have so many slows, you're fast, walk through walls. That's cool being able to manage your passive like that. And yeah, I'm just a fan running it down. Played him in solo. Started playing him in jungle. That's where I really enjoyed him at. And now he's kind of. I mean, you can still play him anywhere, really, in solo jungle. Yeah. But he's just really fun, really consistent. It's now I'm more playing him only in Joust.
Right.
Because it is. I do think auto attack warriors in solo are a little boring. And there's more. There's a big cast of characters I'd like to play in jungle. And so he doesn't come up often, but when he does, it's a lot of fun. I'm really comfortable with him. And he's also my first and only starred god. I only have
That's
one star
crazy. On. That's the only god you have a star on.
Yeah. But I
have more gods that I have 2 stars on than you have 1 star on.
Yeah, I have every single god mastered though, and I have like
right. Which is tier 1, right?
Yes, yeah. Like I have like I probably have over 80 gods rank 5 or up.
Yeah. You play a lot of versatility.
Yeah, I like to spread the love.
Yeah. I like to play Kukul.
And there's no shame in that, man. You find I don't understand like League people who play League who play like 2 characters ever.
You could have stopped after you said
people who play League.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that as well. But you know, honestly, people who play MOBAs, what's wrong with them?
Yep. And you know who that includes? Us.
That's us. That's us for sure.
Yeah.
Well, that kind of wraps up the favorite god. That went on a lot longer than I thought it was going to.
Hour 41:55 is what we're at right now.
All right. So, I mean, basically, what do you think we're going to try to do? We're going to record on Wednesdays every week?
That's the plan. Who knows when we're actually going to get them uploaded.
Right. I'd say aim for Fridays, maybe.
Yeah. That might be hard because I'm going to be working a lot of Thursdays. So if we're recording this late, I'm probably not going to edit them on Wednesday, and I work Thursday. So we'll see. I don't know.
We'll figure it out. It might come out like next Wednesday.
Yeah.
But this might never.
I don't have that much editing to do, right? I just have to figure out. I should have wrote down the timestamps where I was going to put clips in, so I have to look through the whole podcast again.
Hey, I mean, at least the Osiris one's at the end.
Yeah, like the last 10 minutes. But I don't even remember when the other one was. I don't even remember what we were talking about.
It was the Elion. So that was in the first like half.
Right.
Elion saying, "Turn on the thing to Dingo Dial."
Right, that's it. Okay.
I mean, really, you can just if you want to know about that, just YouTube it. Yeah. Look up Elion, look up or turn on the thing or tweet. Go to Twitter.
Right.
But yeah, so a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And hopefully we'll be back next week.
Yeah.
That's all. You got anything else to say?
Nope. I'm just trying to think of how we're gonna outro this.
Right. You should have just said Gank Right Lane and then ended it. when I asked.
That's a good idea. Else. That should be our ending every time. We just go Gank Right Lane. Stop recording.
Okay.
Yep.
3,
I'm gonna.
2, 1. Gank Right Lane.